What happens when a successful woman in tech walks away from corporate life to build a luxury glamping and wellness retreat in the Texas hills? In this inspirational episode, I sit down with Leslie, founder of Lagom Retreat, to talk about creating a wildly unique glamping destination from scratch, despite having no hospitality background whatsoever. From extraordinary architecture and immersive wellness experiences to the power of nature, creativity, and human connection. This conversation is packed with inspiration for anyone dreaming of building a lifestyle business with meaning. It's also a demonstration of resilience from someone who has risen to the constant challenges that always arise when building this type of business, especially when you're a woman. If you've ever wondered whether you could leave behind the safe path and create something extraordinary instead, this episode will light a fire inside you as this woman is limitless. Enjoy this one. It's a corker. Welcome to the Glamping Americas podcast, the place for inspiration about the business of upscale camping, glamping, and luxury outdoor guest accommodations. I'm Sarah Riley from the Glamping Academy, and I'm working with my friends at the Glamping Show Americas to share everything you need to know about new trends, events, business models, and investment potential in the rapidly growing world of luxury camping that delivers an experience. Interest in this industry is exploding, so if you want to be the first to find out what's hot and what's not, subscribe here and check out the show notes for more exciting news and links. And be sure to add the next Glamping Show Americas to your calendar for the 29th and 30th of September 2026 near Denver, Colorado. See you there. Leslie, it's so wonderful that you've joined me today. I'm really excited to have you on the show because I have just been hearing so much about your retreat business called Lagom Retreat. And it's so new, it's so exciting. People have been flocking to see you and what you're doing. And the fact that you are a woman who has done this incredible thing with a business, I think also is awe-inspiring for so many people. And tell us a little bit about you and where you are and what you offer.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. I always love connecting with you, and it's an honor to be here. So thank you. I am in the Central Texas area in the Hill Country. I've started Lagom Retreat, which is a Swedish-inspired kind of glamping, wellness, and events destination in the Texas Hill Country. In Texas in general, this particular area is known for the hills, loads of oak trees, Texas spruce. It's a really pretty landscape. So we chose land in this particular area for that reason. We also have a lot of, I'll say, culture in this particular area. There are tons of wineries, breweries, distilleries, quaint little towns close by that you can go to and spend time in, great little restaurants, and it happens to be the wedding capital of Texas. So all of those things guided our decision to build our site, our retreat in this area. We purchased 37 acres and really built something that I didn't know was going to be fully possible for what it's come to at this point in construction and completion. I'm really proud of what we've built so far, and I feel like we're just getting started. Overall, my background, which is probably relevant here, I actually come from the tech world. I don't have a background in hospitality. I've never run any kind of a glamping site, a hotel, anything like that. I do have a servant's heart, and I was raised by my family to take care of other people. I love hosting people. I love planning parties, making things special, getting into the details. And so all of that with the business acumen that I built through my career, I think really set me up for success for this path to be my version 2.0 of myself and leaving behind this tech infused world and then figuring out how to bring it into this very strong human experiential path that I've chosen.
I really
Yes.
love it that you talk about how your heart is looking after people. And I think that's incredible because considering you have no hospitality business experience, so you've not actually been in a hospitality business before, the fact that you knew that was something you could do was quite visionary almost, because not everybody can move from one industry to another and understand that they can take care of people. So what's really pulled you into the industry, and what really is it about unique hospitality and glamping and all of the differences that we have in this world? What was it that pulled you in?
So it was a long winding path. It's not something that I just woke up one day and said, I'm going to go into hospitality. I spent 26 years in my career in the tech world. And through that time, I was constantly seeking a creative outlet. So I had some fun little side gig businesses that I would do. I took tons of art classes. I actually come from a family full of artists, whether it's my aunts and uncles, my immediate family. So I was raised around creativity and crafting and loads of entrepreneurship. So most of my family are all entrepreneurs in some aspect. And over the years, as I was constantly seeking what I wanted to do, I started digging into what brought me the most joy. And I'm a bit of a design and architecture junkie. I love looking at unique residences, buildings, love the details. I think the details really come into play when I'm hosting people, when I'm planning a party. And then outside of that, like you brought up, I just love to take care of people. So somehow all of that came together in a vision over time of having a space where I could cater to others, take care of them, and really flex this need to create beautiful design in the details. And as I discovered the idea of glamping, and I love nature. That's a bonus. But I also grew up in nature. So my family, all of our vacations were camping, road trips, adventures. And it really all was built in to who I am all along. It just took me some time to pull it out and extract that all of those elements of my past are what brought me the most joy and came together with this vision of creating a retreat where others could come experience beautiful design, attention to detail, and really letting nature and the outdoors heal whatever ails you. And we know we're in this business because nature heals and it brings joy to everyone. So
Isn't it interesting that I've exactly the same as you just said there. When I was young, my parents took me camping. We had so many amazing trips. I remember rolling down the hillsides through the ferns and then camping around the fire and seeing the stars. My friends, my cousins, whoever it might be, all of us having this incredible experience. And similar to you, that has led me into the industry that I'm now in. And so, doesn't it make you think, I wonder what my guests who are enjoying these outdoor experiences, what they might do in their futures because of what we're opening up to them? Does it make you think that a little bit?
I'd never even considered that. I could potentially influence someone's future path. I think I've been more focused on how can I give them a moment in time where they feel the most relaxed, at peace, and using the wellness aspect to help them have just a moment in time that's amazing and hope that it carries on for them. But I hadn't considered the future impact.
I think you might be having more of an impact than you realize. So tell us a little bit about your structures because they are really interesting and exciting. You've done something quite unique with your site. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier, I am a bit of a design junkie. I love architecture and I have a real respect for branding and creating some kind of cohesiveness in general. So when I started this journey, I actually reached out to an architect, and the architect helped me design the space, the site plan. I had this 37 acres of raw land. I didn't know what to do with it. And this architect, Zach Stoltenberg, who is very prevalent in our industry, Zach helped me really walk the land and define what it was going to look like from a experience standpoint. And then from there, I knew that to make something really special and unique, my structures needed to be unique and different. a ton of safari tents, yurts, and really rustic cabins around me, and they're done beautifully, but there's enough of them. And I knew I wanted something wildly different. I'm a bit of a risk taker too, and I knew I wanted something extraordinarily different. So, through Zach's help, he introduced me to several folks in our industry that were doing some really different things and had some different structures that no one had used yet. And so I went after those relationships and found the most unique, crazy, funky cabins I could and then figured out which ones complemented each other because that cohesiveness and the attention to the detail really mattered to me. And so for me, that was the extraordinarily fun part. I loved the design aspect of choosing the structures and then getting on the interiors and designing the interiors and being able to put in all the little details that make the stay on the inside the best. So I have cabins from the Netherlands, from Spain, Austria. I've got a custom designed Conestoga wagon. I've got a Wilding mirror cabin. So I've got quite an eclectic mix, and I'm working on my sixth design coming as well.
Wow. So, what would you say is your guest's favorite so far?
There's two standouts. One is the Stargazer, which is the clear tube 270-degree views all the way around you. It is the showstopper for sure. You can lay in bed, look at the stars. It's got a huge expansive deck out the front with a hot tub, a grilling area. So it's a destination for sure. Definitely a favorite. The other favorite is Cabin Anna. I have one of those. I have actually number 10 in the Casper Shoals collection. And it is unique because it has 3 sections to it, and 2 of the sections move. So you can slide the whole shell in different directions and create these custom configurations of the cabin from completely open to a glass enclosure to hard shell. And so it's fun seeing how guests choose to experience her and how they want to experience nature, and that blurring the lines between indoor and outdoor really happens with this particular cabin. Plus, it boasts a wellness deck. So it's
Mm.
got its own sauna, cold plunge, and hot tub right there beside it as well. So those are right now the two favorites.
So, you're talking there about providing some experiences as well. So, obviously, the structures, the glamping, the site, the location, that's an experience. People are going to want to take pictures, selfies, share it online. It's just wow. It's not just a night somewhere. But you're talking about not just relying on the structure to be the experience. You're also talking about looking at what else can you offer? The saunas, the cold plunges, maybe even a little bit of wellness packages. Tell me why you're thinking along those lines.
One thing that's always been important to me is making everything very accessible. Nature should be easy and accessible, which is why people love glamping. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to be outdoors and in a nice, cushy luxury bed and air conditioning if you're in Texas, or a great stove, great heat. But wellness extends beyond that. Wellness is really your state of mind. So what are the things that complement that? And so certainly there's the popularity of the wellness circuit of sauna, cold plunge, hot tub. But I also think about other experiences that bring wellness, like the ability to just slow down, to build a puzzle, to take a walk without a digital device. Sometimes it's a great night's sleep. That's the biggest luxury you can give someone. So we have put together a sleep well basket that has some fun things in it that help bring down the stress, relax you, prepare for your best night's sleep. Stargazing. I'm in a dark sky community, so that's a bonus for where we're located because on any given night, clear night, the stars are absolutely unbelievable. We offer telescopes in the room. We've got a stargazing app that is specific around where we're located and what you're looking at. We'll ultimately start doing star party experiences where I have someone on site, an astronomer that will provide an elevated stargazing experience. So I'm always looking for different packages that I can add that cater to each individual person's needs to help them get into that relaxed mindset, which I think is really where the wellness happens. It's more about a feeling, not just necessarily an amenity.
You're not really blowing your trumpet very much, as we would say in the UK, because actually it's a very clever business approach as well. And that is obviously that people will come back because they want to feel the same way that they felt when they came to you. And they'll be thinking not just, oh, I want to go and stay in that structure because that structure's nice. And oh, I might just try that other structure because it's very different and that's nice. But they'll also be thinking, I'm feeling so stressed at the moment. Actually, I think I might just go down to Lagom and just hang out there and just unwind. And we deserve it. We need some time together. So they'll be coming back on repeat. And that is really important for businesses to design a service that will attract repeats because that's where your most profit is. So is this something that you have designed into the core?
I think so. So I already have, in my short time I've been open, I already have several guests that have come back multiple times.
Mm.
And a couple of them have chosen different structures each time, and one has come back to the same cabin. It's their home away from home. And I have another one asking if they could invest in almost like a timeshare where they have their certain weekend every month that they come in and that's their space. And so I must be doing something right because they're finding this joy and peace in my space. And so now it's their space too. And I love that.
There can't be anything better than that. To actually have something as an idea, you put it onto paper, then you make it a physical thing, and then you're getting that kind of feedback from the guests who are enjoying it. How does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh. It's the most fulfilling ever. I Despite some of the challenges of launching a business like this and questions you ask yourself, am I on the right track? Did I do it right? Did I do enough? And then you have guest feedback that just affirms you've done exactly what you intended to do. And my guests have been incredible. They've been, first of all, very gracious when they've come during construction or the beginnings when things don't go smoothly. And they have not always gone smoothly, but they didn't care. And so I think that if you can build a site where your guests come and there might be a little bit of chaos around them, but they still find that peace and joy in just being in the space, then you're on the right path. So the guest feedback has just warmed my heart and made me want to work harder to make sure that I continue to make this a space for people to come and escape to when they need to.
So, in this whole journey, and I've known you since the very beginning, and it's been incredible to watch it, what would you say have been your biggest lessons that you've learnt on the way?
The biggest lesson is don't be afraid to think really big. If you think small and you're trying to be safe, you're going to stay in that smaller, safe place. And for some people, that's where they need to be, that's where they're comfortable. I was taught early on in my career to think really big. And if you think way up here, then you'll probably land around here. If you think somewhere down here, that's probably where you're going to hit. And so I think dream big, think big, and if you really want it, the thing, whatever you're going after, then you make it happen. And so that would be first. Everything else, gosh, there's so many learnings and lessons. The details matter. I think I'm a big details person and the details matter. You can't just throw up a random tent and put a bed in there and walk away and expect people to come and have this experience you think they're going to have. So be thoughtful and do your research and put yourself out there and figure out what brings you joy if you're having this experience, and then figure out how to mold that into the best thing possible that you can provide your guests. Ultimately, you have to know your why. If you don't know your why, then I think it's hard to get through the hard times when you have them. I shared with you a story of going through some hard times, and what kept me righted and on my path is knowing my why. And that's creating this beautiful space for people to come escape to and having enough grit and perseverance to get there. And so if you don't have a why and you don't have a feeling or a sentiment that you're strong about around why you're doing this, and it's got to be bigger than just a job or just to make profit or just one single thing. And then just follow your heart in that. And I think you get where you're going if you keep on that path.
I could not agree more because that why is the thing that will continue to drive you and feed your energy and give you motivation. And as you said, through those challenging times, of which there's always challenges, some big, some small in every business. And yeah, that why will give you that sense in the morning that it's still good to carry on with your business idea. It's still the right thing to do. It's still the right direction to go in. And in your experience, you've clearly come out the other side, many of those challenges behind you, and you have had some extraordinary wins. So, of the successes you've had so far, of which I know there have been many, which is incredible, what a story. Tell me for you, what have been your biggest wins?
And that biggest wins. If I, so I'll take it from a couple of different perspectives. From a business perspective, when we started this journey, before we opened, I did a pre-sales campaign through Launchboom and Indiegogo, which for at the glamping show, I'll share a bit about how we utilize that platform to get some pre-sales and start driving the brand ahead of opening. But ultimately, that was a big win. So getting ourselves out there, showing what we're doing and getting tremendous feedback, how much people loved it. They couldn't wait to come and building that anticipation. Not only did we start the business off with some revenue in our hands, I started with bookings and I started with excitement and people talking about it. So just getting off the ground, I think that was a huge win. Recently, a big win has been partnering with a marketing firm and really increasing our marketing spans. But with one of my awesome employee, Audrey, who is a fantastic marketer and she's really helped drive a lot of our growth, we have gone viral on TikTok. And so I know that sounds like a silly win, probably to some, but I mean, over 1 million views of a video of my site. And I'm just blown away that people are that interested in it, that they would view it that many times. And so that's a big win for me because I feel like it's taking us down the path that we're doing something right and something that people want. So hopefully that generates revenue. That's the goal, right? Is to turn that into revenue. And we're getting there. We haven't fully seen that yet, but that's been a huge win. And then from a personal standpoint, the biggest win, which we talked about a moment ago, is the guest feedback. Knowing that I'm making an impact and that I brought so much joy to my guests so far, that's bigger than any win that we've had. And it brings me joy. So that's a win for me. I'm in this job. I loosely call it a job. I'm lucky to have this job of making people happy and mission accomplished. I've passed my yearly review with flying colors and that has been the biggest win is really just finding that I'm doing something to bring others joy and few business milestones but really the personal milestone has been the biggest for me.
And for somebody who's a creator, as you said, you like to create things, you've created something from nothing. You've created a whole thing, a massive thing, something that lots of people are talking about, many hundreds of people are booking already, and you're only just literally opening the doors. You've created that from nothing. You must feel incredibly proud of what you've done.
I am proud, and it's taken me a long time to be able to just say that out loud because I want to be humble about it too. Oh yeah, we just got this glamping side but I am very proud. And sometimes I think when you're on a journey like this, you do have to pause and celebrate the wins
Yes.
and bask in the moment of patting yourself on the back. And I am so proud of what we've done, and I couldn't have done it without quite the team. And my team is not necessarily those that are employed by Lagom, because that's really just myself and Audrey, but my extended team are my family. So my husband has been monumental in coming to take care of the small things, the big things from a construction standpoint, my fix it guy, my IT guy. My sister lives on site, my sister Jan, and she's been phenomenal in helping take care of our guests, taking care of the site, being my eyes on site. So I couldn't have done it without her. And then the extended team that I brought in, my marketing team, partnering with you, inspired collective that we have of others sharing their success stories and their challenges. The architects that I brought in, the companies that provided the units have been fantastic partners. And so learning about this industry through them, through their experience, all of those things have contributed to our great success. It's not just been a solo moment for me. So I think if you are one who's building something similar in any capacity, 2 cabins, 2 yurts versus 20, 30, 40, your team is key and who you pull in to help lift you up and to help lift up this dream and this vision. It really, as they say about raising kids and building the glamping site, it takes a village. It really.
Yeah, I think so. I think the key, though, is the fact that you reached out to people who could help you. You accepted that you needed to just ask the question, what do I do here? What would be best here? And a lot of people do try to go it alone and they do try to fly solo and they miss out on so many opportunities. And one of the opportunities is at the very beginning, which is funding. Many people can't find the funding they need to be able to set up. And I know this was one of your challenges was securing the funding. And you are going to be speaking at the Glamping show at the end of September about how you creatively looked at how you could find funding that wasn't just a traditional bank loan. Of course, there are traditional bank loans that can help, but there's also other things you can do. And you alluded to one of those, which was around your campaigns at the beginning. But then how do you do that? And so I'm really excited to be at the show with you at September. And we're going to talk about the detail of all of these things. And it's going to be, I think, for you, a little bit cathartic because you're going to be able to go over everything you did, give advice to others, and realize how far you've come and actually how much you've done. And it's behind you now. And you're forging ahead. And you've now got this physical business that's there, that's operating. And now you're thinking about how you're evolving and growing and developing into the future. And that must feel incredible. So if people want to get in touch with you and if they want to see your website and see what you have on offer and everything you've been talking about today, where should they go?
Yes. So our website is lagom, Lagom dash retreat.com. So that's your first landing spot. We post a lot on Instagram. So that's been the space where we tell our stories, we follow our journey the closest, and that is at lagom underscore retreat underscore ATX. The stands for Austin, Texas. So there apparently now TikTok is the place to go. The handle is the same for TikTok. And then I try to also post on Facebook. I'll say I'm not as great about social media in general. So a lot of what on Facebook is a mirror image of what's on Instagram. It allows for whatever platform folks are in the most to get the message across. So you can reach out and see what we're doing through all those channels. If you want to reach me directly, feel free to email me, Leslie, Leslie, at lagom-retreat.com. Always glad for a message and always glad to hop on the phone and share my experience in any way I can to lift others up.
It's incredibly generous of you because I know that it can be quite a challenging time for some. They feel they're on their own. People don't understand what they're going through. So to be able to actually speak to somebody who really does is a joy. So it's wonderful to speak to you today. And I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you in September. And we've got all kinds of things planned. We're going to have an evening of drinks. I hope you're going to be staying for that. And we'll all be mixing and socializing, which is what I love about the Glamping show is the fact that it's not just business. There's so much socializing. There's lots of networking and really making those very valuable contacts that you were talking about earlier. So I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, any final words that or of advice that you would give somebody who is maybe at the very beginning of the journey that you've now been on?
Yes, I mentioned it before. Know your why deeply. Know your why, build it into your brand of who you are. It's really important that you have that very special and specific identity for yourself and be a standout in some capacity. We've seen and heard so many stories of different sites that are tied to something that was meaningful to the owner in some way. And so find your why. Outside of that, be ready to dig your heels in. Sometimes bits and pieces of this journey are very easy, and sometimes it gets really hard and hard in different ways, depending on where you are, what your starting point is, and your end goal. As we already talked about, build your network around you, whether it's your local community or it's this extensive community. I have only encountered the most amazing people in this whole outdoor hospitality world. I'm amazed how many people have shared their journey with me. And so I look forward to paying that forward and helping others. But don't be afraid when you're at the glamping show to introduce yourself, talk to people around you, talk to people at the table you're sitting at, you're eating lunch, with strangers. Don't leave as strangers. If there's a speaker and something resonates, stay behind, wait in line to chat with them, get their number. The networking opportunity is massive, and the social aspect of the glamping show, as you mentioned, I think is key to success, really getting to know other people. I've gotten to know so many folks that are also at my same point, whether it's through private coaching groups or just meeting them at the shows and continuing that relationship. I have so many new friends across the globe. And if being social or being more of an extrovert is not your first mode, then get comfortable just introducing yourself and getting to know people the best you can. It's a game changer. You need the support system, and doing it alone is one way, but I don't think it's the best way. Be able to leverage the lessons of those around you and really the generous ability of everyone to share their experiences and share what they know. Take it all in.
There's so much to gain. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leslie. I'm going to include all of the links and the email that you shared. And thank you very much for your time. It's wonderful to hang out with you.
It was so wonderful to hang out with you as always, and I can't wait to see you in September.
See you soon.